Every year, every so often, the skincare industry comes up with so-called trends. Trends are essentially promotional plugs for new ingredients, new products, or new technologies that come with the promise of improving the function of your skin in ways previously unimagined or undiscovered to give you a new, shiny, glowy skin. Some promote a hyped, newly discovered molecule, either natural or synthetic. Some trends are about high technology, energy-powered devices pounding away at the skin through light, other forms of energy, or physically. There is one common thread through all these new trends. They promise to somehow sidestep one's biology, one's biological fate, and give the consumer an amazingly glowing skin in one way or another. Dr. Yuval, Bibi here, Dermatologist. My mission is to break you out of the skincare matrix, empowering you to allow your skin to work for you rather than you working for the skincare industry. Now, what's interesting is that most of these trends tend to completely ignore the skin biology and structure, not to mention the fundamental approach to skincare. Now, let's get to fundamentals. The skin fundamentally is a highly sophisticated, evolved organ. It is perfect the way it is, for most people that is, and it works exceptionally well in carrying out its functions without any help, without any permission, 24/7, and for you, solely for you. And one has to understand that there's literally nothing on this earth that could make the skin sustainably better by just sprinkling on top of the skin. It can make the skin work better or improve the function of the skin. There is no magic ingredient that is going to transform your skin into something it's not. Any ingredient that's essentially going to provide any sort of benefit, and take for example the category of retinoids, which do induce improvements in certain aspects of the skin, even structural changes to the skin, require work. Lots of it. And not only do they require work, but they also come hand in hand with a collection of side effects, specifically irritation and dryness of the skin. They must penetrate the skin barrier to actually induce their effects, and that penetration comes at a cost. The cost is disruption of the skin barrier, and ultimately the function or the effects of these ingredients in the deeper layers of the skin do induce changes that can disrupt the function of the skin on one's way or one's road to getting those promised benefits. So any molecule that's really supposed to make any big difference, any significant change to the skin function, must penetrate the skin, therefore must disrupt the skin barrier. And sure, there are ways of minimizing that disruption, but then again, the disruption must occur in some way. So you're going to pay a price in one way or another. And I'm not talking about money only. So the sad truth is most of these newly discovered ingredients will create some sort of a problem, will induce some sort of a side effect in one way or another. Use vitamin C serums much? And let's face it, the skin is not really meant to be nourished from above. It's actually getting all its nourishment naturally through the supply chain of the body, through the blood supply, the bloodstream, and the lymphatics that feed and drain, clear up the skin of any unnecessary metabolites in a highly intricate process that's impossible to imitate through any skincare technology. Sprinkling any ingredient on top of the skin is unfortunately not how the skin is intended to work. That's just reality. That is just biology. Another category of trends that should make you highly suspicious are the demographically targeted trends or the body-specific area trends. And guys, let's face it, there is no demographic-specific skincare product unless we're talking about very highly specialized products. There is no body area-specific skincare product category either. There's no such thing as male or female specific soaps or moisturizers, despite the very promising labels. Not to mention there are no specific baby or teenager specific products such as moisturizers, lotions, soaps, and other products out there. You have to see through all that. All that is marketing, all that is fall labeling. They're basically labeling a product one way or another to create that niche, to create that sense of confidence for you to purchase the product and use it on a family member or a loved one, or gift it to a friend under the assumption that that product will work better because it was designed for such and such demographic or for such and such body part. That is all nonsense. That is all hype. And you have to see through that and cut through all the noise. Essentially, things are very simple in skincare. One soap will work for any body part whatsoever, and you have to use them very conservatively to begin with. And one moisturizer will work for most body parts. All you have to do is mind the amounts, the circumstances of use, and the way of application of the product. But soaps and moisturizers that work on one body part will work for another and will work for both sexes in all age groups when used appropriately. The eye, face, hand, neck, belly button products are just marketing. The demographic-specific skincare product categories and the body part-specific categories are essentially derivative markets, creating something out of nothing, out of hype, out of a concept to make people buy more of those packages of the same products cut out of the same cloth, made in the same cookie cutter approach, and labeled differently to make you trust the product as if it's some brand new iteration that could not have been gotten through the previous version of the product. Bottom line, don't fall for it. So what's the bottom line? Your skin will never change fundamentally. Its needs will never change fundamentally, and you will care for it in exactly the same way throughout the years. There's really no difference in caring for your skin when you're a baby or caring for your skin when you're an older person. The needs of the skin are exactly the same. You may need to apply products differently as the skin changes slightly as far as its ability to produce the skin barrier and maintain the skin barrier, but the minimal approach of skincare, meaning the use of products only as needed to, first of all, create no harmful effects to begin with, and then mitigate damage to the skin as we go through life. These are fundamentally exactly the same from childhood through adulthood through the end of time. There's really no change in the needs of the skin as you go through life. And the real beauty is your skin fundamentally is an amazing organ that is working for you as we speak, producing these amazing ingredients to be put together miraculously and be brought up to the surface to protect its own surface, protect you from harmful external factors and from your own mischievous deeds regarding skincare. And the skin just keeps up with what you're doing all day long without missing a beat. So the best you can do is stay out of the way and help it along every now and again when it falls on hard times. The skin does not need to be cleansed. Cleansing actually gets rid of the skin barrier. It needs to be moisturized only when it is dry and sensitive, meaning it fell on some hard times after having been abused by some cleansing ritual, or maybe under the circumstances of spending some time in an arid or dry climate that dried up the skin more than it was used to before it got acclimated. And those are the instances where you can really moisturize the skin and be done with it. Get sensible sun exposure, as in do not get sunburned, but definitely get some sun exposure depending on your skin's ability to tolerate and work with the sun. Slug at nighttime if your skin is habitually dry to speed up the recovery. The only trend you should be following is sticking to your guns and following your skin's fundamentals. And that's it. You cannot do any better than that. No trend could ever surpass what we just mentioned, believe it or not, and that is huge. Let me know in the comments section how this video transformed your approach to skincare and got you unhooked from this FOMO, this fear of missing out on the next hottest trend. Also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for more no BS skincare advice. See you next time. God bless.